Hey guys, so let me start with this. Teaching tolerance is obviously a great thing. We have so much crap in this world that we need tolerance. Other cultures, other races, other religions. Tolerance is a wonderful thing. I was raised in the 90s. You know, I'm going to be 35 in a month, so I'm getting old. Hey, what's Jenny? So I was raised in the 90s. I'd like to think I was raised to be pretty tolerant. We had my brother, gay, and while he doesn't talk to me anymore because he saw me as a typical Trump supporter, even though I was the best man at his gay wedding, um, he's still my brother. I still love him, and but teaching tolerance is great. They weren't teaching really they didn't focus so hard on it in school when I was a kid. Basically, you have a school, you had your class, and you had different walks of life. You have your Asian kids, you had your black kids, you had your Hispanics. I think we had some Muslims in the class. We all got along. We all were friends. Played together at recess. And the teacher not once did they ever have to bring up gender identity or diversity or representation or systemic racism or white supremacy or pronouns or gender identity. None of that stuff. My teachers never brought up any of that crap. I had sex ed in sixth grade, like one day. That's all we had. I think I came out pretty fine, but yet these kids, these people want to say that they're trying to teach tolerance. You're breeding intolerance because when you have stuff like this shoved down your throat at every turn, in every aspect of fantasy, where you just want to watch it to get away from reality and you can't because it's just forced all the time, you start to become intolerant. You have the trans community. People are turning against them. Why? Because they go out of their way to harass, to dox people who wanted to. They go out of their way to harass and dox people who just wanted to play a freaking Harry Potter video game. Are they going out and actually offing trans people? No. They were playing a freaking video game by a company that had no input at all from this super evil J.K. Rowling. So when you have a community that does that, people are going to start to become more intolerant. But so we have a Transformers show on Nickelodeon, and
Hey, it's okay. I know I'm safe when I'm with my friends or other non binary people.
Non binary?
People who aren't female or male. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have assumed.
I always knew my pronouns felt right, but what a wonderful word for a wonderful experience.
but John, it's just a cartoon. Yeah, it's just a cartoon, and it's only in video games now, and in freaking comic books and movies. If this was an isolated experience and an isolated incident, sure, you could write it off. But no, this is a constant thing. Let kids be kids. Stop preaching to them about freaking pronouns. Stop preaching to them about freaking sexual identity. Stop telling them that men can get pregnant when they can't. Well, trans men are men. No, trans men are still biologically female. Trans women are biological male. So if you're saying a trans woman can get pregnant, no, they can't. I mean, I may look pregnant, but I can tell you there's no baby in there. I can assure you that. So them trying to confuse these kids and saying that oh well, you don't feel either gender, it confuses kids. And then for the older people, it just starts pissing us off. Because just leave the freaking kids alone. It's like drag queens. It's like, well, you just have a problem with drag queens. No, no. Like RuPaul, I have no problem with him. RuPaul has been a huge name in the world for ages. I mean, like what, back in the 90s, this dude was so, like, for the whole art of drag, revolutionary. It was like basically back then he was a household name. And he's done so much for the drag community, which I totally respect. But when you start having drag queens going around to schools and to libraries and around little kids and start spreading their legs out, then we have a problem. It's not the drag queens we have a problem with. It's what they're doing in front of kids. If you want to dress as a chick, go ahead. Go the hell ahead. But keep it away from kids. Because it's not like they're going around and just like, okay, everyone, we're just going to have a nice, friendly experience. You know, how many of these videos have popped up where these women, these drag queens are laying on their backs, spreading their legs, half naked? Why? Let kids be kids. We have a show, Transformers. And quite frankly, I mean, it's stupid for the robots to have gender anyway. You know, but just non-binary. Well, I don't feel me male or female. Sure, just confuse kids. You know, the little kids who are watching this, yeah, just confuse them. And when the kids start getting confused, the parents are going to be the ones who have to try to explain it and try to freaking deal with it. Just let kids be kids. You know, you can't watch anything without seeing this kind of stuff pushed. I just did one about Peter Pan and Wendy, and it's so much worse than what I showed. So not only is Tinkerbell black, Peter Pan is no longer a white boy. He's like Indian or something. You have the lost they thems, where the lost boys are now mostly girls. But of course, the pirates and Captain Hook, oh, what do you know? They're still white. Because white people are always evil. You look at TV shows now or commercials. I mean, there's so many commercials now. I was watching one and I can't remember if it's like a fusion, like a gummy vitamin fusion or something. And it's a white woman and a black woman. So this one's really difficult to do because it's women and, oh, women are oppressed. But the black woman, the white woman says something about, oh, I wonder where the fusion comes in. And of course, the big smart black woman has to explain, maybe it's the fusion between fruits and vegetables. And then the white woman says like the dumbest shit and talks about, you know, fusion of like a kung fu door. And then it like cuts to this door with like arms and legs doing, and I'm like, are they trying to make white people seem like they're the dumbest freaking types of people ever? A kung fu door. And like I said, it's difficult because it was two women and women are oppressed, but black women are definitely more oppressed. So we can make the white woman look like a dum-dum. We have the white male constantly, basically, in commercials. Well, I can't do anything without the powerful females around me because I'm a dum-dum. You know, the women are always standing there like, ugh, these men would just be a loss without us. Yeah, we'd be lost without you, I guess. But then I guess society wouldn't be functioning without men. Nothing would be built. Nothing would be maintained. No wars would be fought. But it's every aspect of life now. You can't get rid of it. You have freaking Hershey's. I saw Hershey's with freaking trans and just stop. Not everything has to be this liberal ideological bullcrap. Like I said, this is what's breeding intolerance. Would I harm someone of that community? Of course not. It doesn't mean I'm not getting tired of it. Because I am. I'm so tired. Like, everything. TV shows, comic books, movies, video games, commercials. Everything that's supposed to be an escape is now, you know, you watch these stupid award shows, and what are they constantly doing? They're preaching talking about systemic racism. These black actors up there talking about systemic racism while they're winning awards. So the black actors who are successful and have millions upon millions of dollars are claiming that there's systemic racism. If systemic racism existed, you wouldn't be multimillionaires. If that kind of stuff existed, we wouldn't have had a black president for 8 years. Just saying. But this is the kind of stuff that kids are watching. And it's like the same, it's like I said, the people who are doing this, oh, it's not happening. I don't know what you're talking about. And this, again, if it was an isolated incident and it was just this, sure, I could write it off. But it's in everything. Every Disney movie, every movie that comes out has to have forced diversity, gender swapping, race swapping. But you never see black to white, or black to white, or whatever. But it's always white to black, strong, powerful females. If you have a movie that's why people are calling the MCU the MCU, because you have to have all these strong, powerful females, and they're trying what they can to make the friggin' males look like dum-dums. And then when we call out the agenda, it's not happening. You're all just a bunch of stupid, nerdy incels who just can't get laid. It's like, wow, that's a real intelligent comment from the freaking company. So, if this was an isolated thing, it'd be different, but it's not. It's everywhere now. Again, preaching tolerance is fine. We didn't have that crap back in the 90s, and most of us, you guys who are watching me, would you consider yourselves tolerant people as well? I'm sure you would. Were you taught, was this crap forced down your throat when you were a kid? No. In fact, some people, guess what? Some people lived in a time where racism existed. Real racism. Where segregation happened. And guess what? There are some people who didn't partake in that, who tried to help. They were tolerant back then without being taught it. So why is this crap being forced on everyone now? Because it's not about preaching tolerance. But hey, what do I know? I'm just an old guy. Anyway. Sam's in here and I'd ask his opinion, but he's kind of cleaning himself right now. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.